Hello, kia ora. Time for your Bachelorette New Zealand recap. I'm Mama C. Well, last time we were told that something is about to change everything, and then the show opens with a voiceover saying that another one of the new bachelors is going to be basically messing with the head of one of the originals. And then they show us a picture of Aaron, so, okay, who is going after Lucina now, right? Okay, so, well, we open then with Steve and Terrence. They commiserate about the lack of dates they've gotten, and then Quinn finally has a one-on-one date with Lily. Yay! So Lily takes Quinn to break some things at like a break house or a smash cafe, which is where you literally go to break fax machines and old obsolete equipment and that sort of thing for fun. Sort of a stress relief, I guess. Well, they're having a lot of fun, and then all of a sudden, Quinn realizes he has a shard of glass in his hand. It went right through his glove and into his hand. So there's some blood and all that fun stuff, and they realize he has to go to the hospital to have some stitches. Well, Lily's hopeful that this is not going to be the end of their date, and fortunately, a few stitches later, they are then going to go to a rooftop pub, and then Lily's going to start hitting Quinn with the sort of probing questions. She says, "What do you think I like about you?" And he says, "Well, hopefully you think I'm a good enough looking bloke." He talks about his own life, what they could be to each other, what they have in common. He definitely uses his time wisely. He really does. He says he's so glad he took the opportunity to do this because, then he wouldn't have met her if he hadn't. And he thinks she's pretty awesome. Well, he's saying all the right things, so good job, mate. He did a really good job. They have a great time, and then Lily asks him if he'd accept a rose, and since, he obviously shed blood for her, he accepts, of course, and they pash. And then Lily admits to us that she really likes kissing Quinn, so, Then we go to the boys. They are having a little game of truth or dare. Liam says, "All right, guys, let's play this game." Then the first question Steve is asked, it's sort of a poo question. Would you rather have your farts be visible, or would you rather your burps smell like poo? I mean, there's not really a winning answer there. So his dare was to eat a square of toilet paper, and that's what he did, because that was... what else is he going to say? It just seemed funny, eh? I don't know. Then they go to Mike. Sexy Mike. Then he asks him, other than himself, who does he think is the sexiest guy in the house? And he says, Richie. Then Liam says, in an aside, he was just sure that they would say him, but obviously he must be joking, right? Then Elliot is asked his best pickup line, or he has to run naked. Well, of course he's going to run naked, just down to his mic and mic strap. That's all it is, and he's not fussed about that. He then asks Jesse who is the most annoying douche in the house, or his dare is to lick the ground. Well, Jesse opts to lick the ground. Blah. But there you go, avoiding the tough questions. Then Jesse asks Richie who is the most self-entitled in the house. So Richie then says Aaron is the most self-entitled because of his AMOG tattoo, which apparently means alpha male of group. And that leaves Aaron feeling a bit stung. And then his turn, and he says, it looks like Richie has a date with Lucina. I know. So everybody's kind of like, what? But he's keen, so he goes to get ready. Then back to Lily. She tells us that Richie needs to tell her first, how he feels about the ladies and that sort of thing before she proceeds with any kind of relationship with him. So we know this is the lead-in to Richie's date with Lucina, right? So he goes on his one-on-one date with Lucina. He says he's open to getting to know both the ladies before drawing any conclusions. They go up in the Palazzo Barolo. I hope I said that right. That's in Buenos Aires. It's like one of the tallest buildings. And they're going to go to Heaven, which is a top lookout tower. And the building was built by a couple of Italian blokes back in the day, sort of a reference to Dante's Inferno, which I think was written like in the 14th century or something. But anyway, it's like his version of hell and heaven and that sort of thing. So obviously hell is the ground floor, and then the viewing tower is heaven. So as they're going up, they talk about the 7 deadly sins, and the tour guide tells them the history about the building. Well, then Richie admits he is a very flirty person, and and they have a lot of fun. Richie says to Lucina about how he wants to consider Lily's feelings because he already had a date with her, and he doesn't want to cause anyone distress. They have some rooftop cocktails. Lucina giggles, and they chat. She asks his perfect life. He says he's never been a city boy, and he likes adventure, and he's currently looking at building a tiny house. So he's going to design that. So well done on him. Good job, mate. I think that's pretty cool. He asks her about herself. She says she wants to travel with a family. He says he wants a family as well. But he wanted to be his best him before he had a family, and he feels like he has found the spot in his life now. And, he wants adventure, he wants to be with someone and to love someone, have a family with that someone for the next 60 years. So, he's planning the future. So Richie he's surprised by the connection he has with both the ladies. He really is. They hug and he heads back. Lucina doesn't give him a rose because she's being a bit reserved with the roses. Yeah. While Richie is out on his date, Terrence pokes the bear where Lucina is concerned. Yeah. He says, how many of you reckon that there's a connection between Lucina and Richie? And, they all have a few laughs, except for Aaron. I think Terrence was just trying to lighten the mood. I don't know, but it was comical because obviously it's got to be so hard living in this house with other people who are dating your partner. I know, it's just weird, eh? But he's trying to lighten the mood. So next morning, Richie is talking about the 7 deadly sins from his date before, and then his heart is feeling Lucina at this point, and he's struggling a bit with his feelings because he's kind of confused about which woman is he really there for, right? Yeah. So then we find out there's a big group date with almost everyone. Lily is doing a basketball challenge. Well, both the girls are doing a basketball challenge with the lads. Art says it's going to be 5-on-5 street ball. And then the ladies pick captains. Lucina picks Aaron as her captain, and Lily picks Jesse. Then Jesse gets first pick of his team, and he goes with the height. Obviously, he's going to go with Elliot. And he goes with Steve, Liam, and Coomer Mike. Then Aaron picks McDreamy, Logan, Terrence, and George. And then Art is our ref. Lily's boys score first with Elliot. Aaron scores. We discover Liam is not a baller, and he admits that he's not much of a basketball player, but, his mate picked him for his team, so, he played him with the friend card, he says. It was fun, and we wait for Art to give results. He says it was 15 all, but Lily doesn't really agree with that, but, whatever. It's not like anyone really wins anything major, right? Lucina picks Mike as her man of the match, and he seems happy. Lily picks Elliot, and she says he was hands down player of the game. And, he's a good baller. He did a good job. She says their chat was good before, and she says she forgot to give him a rose. And so she offers him one now, and he accepts, and they had a really nice day. So I think Elliot, he seems like a really fun guy. Once you get to know him and you realize he's just like a joker, Yeah, he seems like he'd be a lot of fun to hang around with. So Aaron says Lucina is just trying to figure out if she and Mike have a connection because, he's like, she's trying to weed these out. And I think it's just kind of wishful thinking. Yeah, because I think the whole thing bothers him. It would bother you if the person you cared about and you were dating, is seeing someone else and trying to sort their feelings out. Yeah, it's a bit of a cluster, and I can see where it would start to grate on him a bit. Yeah. All right, then we go to Mike and Lucina, and Mike gets serious about his chat. He talks about the weirdness of the situation, what I talk about all the time, living with all the guys, dating your person of interest, da-da-da. He asks her some more personal questions, like what kind of guy does she want? She says nice and kind, and he's like, nice? He said nice is kind of blah, She doesn't really, at least we don't see, for all we know, she went on to explain everything she wants, but they don't show us that, so I don't know. It was kind of odd. He says to us he has no idea if she even likes him, and that obviously you want a nice person. You're not going to go find an asshole. This is his words. And then they kind of left it at that because it seemed like, I don't know, it just was, I don't know. But we still haven't seen that hard pass yet that they previewed during the tea leaf dream sequence or whatever it was. So I have a feeling that they're going to get past that. So then Sunday night, apparently we're going to see Richie struggling more with his feelings. They're saying something big is going to happen to shake the mansion, but I don't know. It sounds like someone is leaving, the way they made it sound. Because like the guys are like, oh, do we get to say goodbye? Or something to that effect. So we don't know what is happening. Is someone going to finally just lose their nut and say, that's it, I'm done with this. This is craziness? I don't know. But we'll have to wait and find out. And that'll happen Sunday on the next Bachelorette New Zealand recap. I'm Mama C. Have a great day wherever you are.